Live to Paris and petrol head, TRT World's editor-at-large, Craig Copetas. Craig, those traditional Rust Belt car-making communities have been written off for dead. What's behind the renaissance?
Four-cylinder engines that work well in big SUVs, V6 trucks, V8 trucks. They even have Cadillac and Lincoln, the two luxury U.S. brands, have trucks and SUVs. And I'm going to go imperial on you. $2.44 a gallon, average gas price in the U.S. Compare that to France, where it's $7.20 a gallon.
What's interesting here is the ability to understand the consumer, flexibility, isn't it? I mean, if you look at this abandonment of old-fashioned sedans or saloons, as they're called in other countries, the rise of the SUV and the rise of trucks. In Europe, particularly Northern Europe, the rise and then the fall of the diesel. The trick is, for a car maker, flexibility, quickly changing those factories.
And Fiat Chrysler did that. And in the U.S. right now, I was just there last week talking to some car people down in Miami. In fact, we even did a little racing while we were there. If you're buying a sedan or a four-door, you're going Mercedes or Audi, and that's about it. What people now are doing is they don't buy a car, they lease it. Over 32% of cars in the United States are leased. In the Miami area, for instance, over 80% of the cars are leased. And what are they leasing nationwide? The highest level of leases? Fiat, Dodge Ram trucks, Dodge supercars. And those are the hot ones because Fiat Chrysler is giving them good lease agreements on it people can afford.
I mean, we can talk about driverless cars, the rise of electric, that generation you just alluded to of people who do not like ownership, they like renting. I mean, you would have to be brave here to be either an investor in the motor industry or even try to run it. I mean, calling it short-term is hard, isn't it?
Well, it's very hard. You know the car that's really caught on in the States right now? Amazing. Alfa Romeo. They're selling Alfa Romeos for $80,000 to $90,000. 560 plus horsepower engine. It is absolutely remarkable. And it has to do with, this is what one of the guys down there who sells BMWs was telling me. He says, people want trucks because Americans like to haul stuff around. And millennials like to haul stuff around. You drive in southern Florida right now or anywhere on the East Coast, I guarantee you, Jamie, you're going to see more of what we call pick-em-up trucks than you will sedans.
And just to throw a spanner into this nostalgic celebration of the renaissance of the American car industry, meanwhile, we must add, the American electric car company Tesla announcing the opening of a new factory, guess where? China.
Great, you got $80,000 to buy one. The entry model is about $35,000, but you're going to get it for minimum $45,000 if it comes off the line. The top end of the Tesla model, which I actually drove last week, which is their SUV, $160,000, and only the rich can afford those. And Tesla's having a hard time making that low-end model that people are willing to buy. There's also a problem with the electric car, which they don't like to mention. What happens when you sell it? You're going to buy a used battery? That's something that people are concerned about as the electric car boom goes on.
I wanted to ask you about something else that presumably we're all concerned about. It's the environment. But in the age of cheap oil, presumably, American motorists keep on buying these huge, great big trucks because they are not prohibitive to run in the way that they were when oil was more expensive.
Guns and trucks, Jamie, it's what built America.
Craig Copetas in Paris. Thank you very much.